everyone, this is Rabbitearsblog, and welcome to another TV episode review series. So today's TV episode I'll be reviewing today is the Orville episode Pria. And before I get to my thoughts about this episode, I would like to remind everyone that new videos will be posted up every Sunday. It could be Sunday morning, Sunday night, or Sunday evening, depending on when I can get the videos posted up. And if you happen to see a video posted up during the week, that must mean that there was a bit of TV show or movie news that was released during the week that I wanted to cover. So those will be considered special videos. And also tune in every Monday for my TV episode roundup series where I review all the TV episodes I review for the week, and I list it from worst pick of the week to best pick of the week. So expect to see the TV episode roundup series every Monday. So now let's get into this episode review of the Orville Pria. So what happens in this episode is that the crew of the Orville end up rescuing this woman named Pria, who's played by Charlize Theron. And it turns out that Ed and Pria start developing feelings for each other, and they start spending some time with each other. Well, what happens is that Kelly, Ed's ex-wife, ends up getting suspicious of Pria, and she thinks that Pria's up to no good, and she tries to convince Ed, something's not right about Pria, you got to be careful with her. And Ed is like telling Kelly, you're just jealous because we broke up, and you're sad that I'm actually in a relationship with somebody else. And Kelly's like, no, that's not it at all. I just think something's wrong with Pria, and I should at least be the one to tell you, something's not right, and I want to warn you before things go bad with you and Pria. And that's what the majority of these episodes are all about. It's about Ed's growing relationship with Pria, and how Kelly's trying to discover whether or not Pria should be trusted or not. So what are my thoughts about this episode? I really enjoyed this episode. Like, you might notice in the previous episodes how they always making fun of Ed's divorce with Kelly, and it's always played in a light way. But in this episode, this is like the first episode where it's portrayed much more seriously, as we see that the divorce has taken an emotional turmoil, an emotional toll on Ed himself. And Kelly's worried throughout the episode, that Ed might be emotionally vulnerable because with Pria, because he just had a divorce, and Ed is still upset about the whole divorce with Kelly. And Kelly's like worried that Ed might let his emotions get the best of him, and not let him judge fairly of what's going on with Pria, and whether or not Pria should be trusted or not. So I like how this episode actually show us how emotionally broken Ed is with his divorce with Kelly, and how he could be he could be tricked by Pria, or if Pria's good or bad in this episode, because he's letting his emotions of the divorce get the best of him. And I like how the episode was able to portray Ed's sadness about the divorce, and how he desperately wants to fall in love again, and try to get at least be in a better relationship again. And another part I liked about this episode is like the B story of this episode involving Isaac the robot. So we see that Isaac has no sense of humor because his species don't really do a lot of practical jokes. And when the two guys on the ship, the two funny guys, want to get Isaac in on the practical jokes, let's just say it kind of backfires on them. I won't tell you what Isaac actually did as a practical joke, but if you've been watching a lot of Seth MacFarlane shows like Family Guy and American Dad, then you kind of expect this kind of humor to pop up, this dark humor. But yeah, again, I won't tell you what Isaac has done to the guys as a form of practical jokes the way he sees it. But again, if you're familiar with Seth MacFarlane's works, you probably know what happens. But yeah, I wasn't really surprised with what Isaac did with the two guys, but at the same time, you could kind of tell at that moment that he doesn't really understand about how humor works, and what's funny to him might not be funny to everybody else. So I like the B story plot about Isaac the robot, and I hope we get more episodes involving Isaac the robot. And I also wanted to get more episodes between the two guys who are like the funny guys in the show. Maybe have an episode centered on them would be nice. So I do like the B story plot involving Isaac and the two guys, as they brought more comedy in this episode, since the moments involving Ed, Pria, and Kelly are pretty much the most serious part of the episode. And I think Charlize Theron's acting was very well done. She's able to play the innocent girl while being mysterious at the same time. So I really like the fact that she was able to play both roles very well. And it was a big surprise to see Charlize Theron in the show. So it makes me wonder, is the Orville going to use more celebrities in future episodes, and how they're going to play a role into the main characters' arcs? So that would be pretty interesting to see in the future episodes. So overall, I give this episode 4.5 stars. Again, the pacing's a little slow at points, but I like how the show is still juggling between humor and drama, and this episode has a perfect balance between comedy and drama. And I also love the plot line about Ed still being upset about the divorce and how his emotions might get the best of him when dealing with Pria. So I hope after this episode we see more progression with Ed and Kelly's relationship, besides the whole Ed is still upset at Kelly for cheating on him, and both of them are still bitter about the divorce. So I hope to see more from Kelly and Ed's relationship in future episodes, and I think this is one of the best episodes that portrays their how far their relationship is at this point. So that's my thoughts on the Orville, the Pria episode. And have you seen this episode? And if you have, did you enjoy this episode? Did you hate this episode? What more do you want to see from the Orville? Well, that's my review on the Orville Pria episode. And be sure to follow me on Twitter so I can keep you updated on any new videos I post up. And also like my Facebook page, Rabbitearsblog's Best Comments. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. This is Rabbitearsblog, and I'll see you later.